Hey, Vicky here. So I want to go over some really quick tips with QuickBooks Online, things that you're going to need to know as a bookkeeper. I have been in this industry for over 20 years. And so I want to share with you the dashboard that you're mainly going to be in when you're in QuickBooks Online and kind of how to operate in it. Okay, so I'm going to give you about 6 different quick tips that you need to know that will make your life easier as you are recording transactions, reconciling, and then creating reports. Remember, there's 3 things that we do as bookkeepers. Recording transactions. This is where you're going to spend most of your time recording transactions. So what we're going to look at here is first, I want to share with you the bank feed. I've gone to transactions and bank transactions. This is where you're going to spend a huge chunk of your time. You can link any of your bank accounts. Most major banks are compatible with QuickBooks Online. So all you do is you go in and select what the bank is and you add it. Well, this is a company that's already all connected, so no issues there. So we are going to go back. And one other thing that I want to share with you is if your bank is not compatible with QuickBooks Online, there is an option. All you have to do is log into the client's bank account, download the transactions in a QBO file system, and you can upload that file into QuickBooks Online. So say it's a small credit union that your client is using and they're not compatible with QuickBooks Online. All you have to do is download I would do a month at a time, say January 1st through the 31st, those transactions as the QB equivalent file, download it to your computer, save it in downloads, and then go to this button inside of QuickBooks Online and do upload from file, and you'll be able to select that file and pull it in to QuickBooks Online. So you don't have the data entry manual, all of those transactions. That's a huge tip right there, okay? So the other thing I want to point out is the update button. Sometimes when you come in here, they're not going to say updated moments ago. It's going to say updated 5 days ago. So sometimes you have to hit the update button and it will update each of your banks that are in here so that it's real time. Now, with that being said, sometimes it'll send a code to your client if they have their cell phone attached to the QuickBooks Online. So just know that you may have to send them a quick text or email and say, hey, I'm about to update QuickBooks bank account so they're up to date so I can code everything. You may be getting a code. So just know that that is a possibility. One other tip that I want to point out is when you're in this feed, this search button is very, very powerful. You can use it for dollar amounts, a number, or words. So we're going to do $55. And it's going to pull up all the transactions that are sitting here in the bank feed for $55. There you are. There's 2 right here. The other example is you can use words. Bessie, books by Bessie. And here are the 3 transactions that are for Bessie. This is helpful if you are trying to match things, if you're investigating a little bit. This is a quick way to go and search for specific words or numbers inside QuickBooks Online. Now, over here to the side, this is where you can really personalize your feed when you're recording transactions. And there's just a few I want to point out that I would do, that I do with each of my clients is that I change. You really don't want to add new vendors automatically. So I would take that off because not everybody's going to be a vendor. So take that off so that it's not automatically adding these people in there that you don't want in there. The show bank details is really important for me because it helps me categorize. So as when you uncheck it, see over here, this one doesn't have a detail. You click it, no description available, but this has the hardware. So I know it's hardware. PGE, what is that? Well, PG and amp. Okay, that gives me a little bit more detail. I may know what that is. So I would select that. And then you can also tell how many transactions you want on a page. I would not probably do 300. That would overwhelm me. So you can select to have less transactions on this page so you can work through it. So that is here at the gear icon. One other huge tip in the bank feed for QuickBooks Online that I want to show you is this exclude feed. This is important for us bookkeepers if we're cleaning up messes. You can exclude, say you're reconciling for the current year, but there are all these transactions in there for the prior year, and they don't need that data. The tax return's already been filed. They figured it out their own way. They've hired you now to get the current year active. You can select a transaction and exclude it. And what it will do is it's going to pop it over in this exclude tab. It's not going to affect your bank feed, your reconciliation. It's all going to be over here. And you didn't delete it. I try not to delete anything if I can help it. I either void or exclude. Okay. So you can exclude transactions that get them out of your feed. So they're not just sitting there and you're like, I've got 20 transactions I can't do anything with. The exclude button is very powerful for us bookkeepers. Use it. Definitely use it. Let's see. Okay. And one other quick tip that I want to share with you that I know you'll be utilizing when you're in here in this dashboard is you can add vendors and let's see. Let me find one that's not a match. It's just an ad. Here's an ad. Okay, so you can go in, click into the vendor, click into the transaction and select payee. Maybe this payee is not created, so you need to add a new vendor. You can quickly do that here. Add new vendor. You don't have to make it complicated. It can be first name, last name. You don't have to have the company name. You don't have to have the address and all that if they're not a 1099 contractor. If they are a 1099 contractor, then you are going to want to have their tax ID number, their address and all of that. But let's see. If they're not a 1099 contractor, then you don't have to do all that. You can just put in their basic information to be able to code it. Okay. So I do want to leave without saving because I'm just doing a tutorial showing you. And then I want to show you here. You can also quickly add accounts. So you've got your payee and then you've got where are you going to code this? Where is this going to flow to on your profit and loss statement or your balance sheet? Well, if you need to add a new account, you can do that quickly here too. This is important if you are, say, your client bought a new vehicle and you need to add that asset into the chart of accounts. This is where you can do it. You can do, okay, it's a fixed asset. This is what was purchased. Give the detail of the year of the vehicle so you can track it, and you can add accounts here as well. That is also a very important tip to know inside of this dashboard. And then the last and final tip that I want to leave you with for the bank feeds is very important. You will see, let me see if I can get to here about, yep. Okay. See this little action column over here? These words are very important, so pay attention. You've got match and you've got add. Well, adding just directly adds that transaction into the check register. When you hit match, when match is an option, what this is doing is this is telling you there's two transactions sitting in these transactions. So does this match the one that is already there? So if it's a manual entry already in QuickBooks Online, this is where you're going to match them so you're not duplicating transactions. This is really important to know. And a lot of people do mess up in this area. What happens here is sometimes third-party software may be connected to QuickBooks Online. So you may have another invoicing company that's throwing invoices into QuickBooks Online for the client. And you need to make sure you're pairing that deposit with that invoice. And this is where you match it so that you don't have duplication of transactions. Okay. So adding is just straight sending it to the check register. There's nothing else like it. And then your matching is where you will help eliminate duplicate transactions. I will leave you with this so that the stress is kind of taken off of you. Oh no, I'm going to duplicate transactions. You will always catch these in your reconciliation. Remember, there's three things that we do. We record, we reconcile, and we create reports for our clients. So when you move to your reconciliation, that's where you're going to see if there's two transactions for that same $55 books by Betsy. If there's two of them there, when you're looking at your bank statement and going through your QuickBooks Online and reconciling, you'll catch your double transactions there. So just know that's where you will go. This was a quick overview for the dashboard of transactions, where we will spend a majority of our time reconciling and recording for our clients. Again, please subscribe to my channel, and also any way that you can work with me is linked below as well. You can purchase my program. You can work with me with weekly live trainings. Check it all out below. Thank you for coming, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.